Hello, hello. Hey,
Hello.
Robin.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Oh,
Did you
Is
get
your
some rest from last week?
oh, a little bit. I feel like I got a lot of rest to catch up on, and I'm still going through things that still have to happen even after the event is over.
Yeah.
Writing a lot of thank you notes,
No, I bet.
letters of appreciation.
Yeah. 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 Well, big events, and as they get bigger, they take up more and more time of the year to do all that stuff, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I always wondered why, when I lived in Corvallis, some of the big events like Da Vinci Days and stuff had their own office. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, yeah, it
it's,
happens all year.
it's a quite a deal.
Yep. Are you going to be on our planning committee again?
Yes, I want to
Awesome.
be.
Good. And Allison is going to be on there too.
Sorry, I missed. I just gave up.
No worries.
What did you ask, Keith?
Oh, I asked if Robin was going to be on our planning committee again.
For Pride?
Yeah. Yay.
Heck yeah.
Allison too.
Yeah.
Our stage show director.
I'm ready. I'm ready to put some things in place for next year. That's for sure.
Good. Good, because I was ran through. I was like, I am tired and I cannot keep these people on track.
I'm going to start with a suggestion of like a walkie-talkie with the sound person.
For real.
Mhm.
Everybody walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's okay with you guys, I'm gonna just have my name up because I didn't have time to eat my dinner, so I'm gonna take bites as I'm working, and I don't want to eat in front of you, so I'm just gonna black out my screen.
No worries. We've all been there.
What are you having, Gina?
Oh, I'm having we get those Hello Fresh meals, and so it's like oops, I meant to do the video game. So it's like a sub sandwich thing, but it's my husband did it. I don't even know what it's called. It's really good. It's like a pork with a sauce on it, and then there's jalapenos and like some onions, and it's
Yum.
good.
Delish.
Just going to drink my water until I get to have my dinner, Gina. Thanks.
Sorry.
I'm halfway through my burrito.
That also sounds good.
I'm not super hungry. I ate a pretty late lunch at Homegrown Foods.
They're doing dinners now, I heard.
Yes, they are. It's so good.
I haven't been there.
Oh, you
I've
need to
been,
go. We should go. Maybe we'll do a meeting there for Pride.
Yeah, they have a really like yummy curry dish
Mhm.
there that I've gotten a couple times. And then I had a party in the fall and they catered and did like a taco bar and it was really delish.
My mom got the nachos today and they had like this vegan cheese on them that was not, it was definitely wasn't giving cheese, but it was very delicious.
Nut sauce.
Yeah. I was like, this is like cashew butter with a
Yeah.
Chipotle vibe. I'm into it. All right. Where are we at for time? All right. Kim is, or Gina, is this everyone who said they'd be here?
I had Eileen, Eileen. I always say that wrong.
Elin?
I had that she was coming.
Okay, cool.
But I had not heard from Miriam, and Jamie said she couldn't, so. But we have a quorum, so we
Yeah.
can start.
Yep, I'm pulling up the agenda right meow. Okie dokie. All right, I'm going to call this meeting of the Human Relations Commission to order at 6:33 p.m. Can we get the roll call, please?
Yes, so Keith,
Present.
Robin,
Present.
Allison,
Present.
Greg,
Present.
Elin, Miriam, and Jamie's excused.
Thank you. Kim, did we have any business from the public?
No business from the public.
Thank you. Has everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes from May 2020 or May 23rd meeting? Great. I would entertain motions on those.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the May 23rd meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And our scheduled business is first Human Relations Commission name. Kim, did you have any update on that? So just to give everyone kind of a brief update on the context, I presented our annual report at the city council meeting a couple of weeks ago, and included in my report was the recommendation that we collaborate with the city council on updating our name to better reflect our role in the community, which also our city manager, Peter Trotston, included a memo to the council also suggesting action on this item, backing up our suggestion from the commission.
And I haven't heard anything back on that. I know Peter was out a little bit of town, and then I was out of town. So I will follow up with him tomorrow after director's team, but I haven't seen no emails have come through. So I'll be able to circle back. But at this point, we don't have a, let's set up a meeting, or yes, let's do this, or no, let's not do this.
Okay.
Yes, no update on that one.
Good. Well, that update stands as is.
So we're just waiting for them to kind of get back to us with some feedback on that.
Yeah, it'll probably have to pop up onto their meeting agenda, or a council will have to bring it up from business from council and start suggesting that we get a meeting set up together.
Great.
In the meantime, I would highly suggest everyone just start thinking about names and writing them down so that we're prepared when that time comes. And I didn't get a chance to see, I don't think, was anyone else show up to that meeting where I presented the awards and the report?
I came later, but as the community development chair, so I missed your presentation. I'm sorry.
It was really good. And we also had the fire department swore in some new officers as well. It was like, what, 5 new? It was
Packed.
It was
City Hall
packed.
Chambers was packed.
It was packed when we got there too. So,
And there's
yeah.
also a contentious item on there, and I think 7 public hearings. So it was a happening night.
It was. I felt bad just like rolling out after, but that meeting went way too long. But yeah, it was a very good meeting, and at least the part that I was there for was very joyous and had very good vibes. And now if we would like to go into our HRC project updates, Allison, do you have updates on Coffee with the Commissioner?
I have very minimal updates. So, this totally slid off of my radar. But
That's a
I
good-
have reached out to, so I reached out to Keith and Jamie today and said, we need to regroup on this. I think a couple questions that I had for you, Kim, is, and maybe it's for Gina as well, is in terms of for promotion, we talked about doing so on like the city's social media accounts and stuff like that. And then Keith, Jamie, and I talked about connecting with some of the partner organizations in the community that would probably be most interested in this. One thing that we were wondering about was resources in terms of developing some kind of graphic, or I know that there's somebody at the city who does this. So would we be able to get support for that? Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
If you'll send me an email, that'll just have the official title. Coffee with the Commissioner isn't, I think I can remember that. Dates, locations, and any other info that you want to be included, send it to me. I'll send it to Matt. He's wonderful. He'll come up with a draft, and he typically does it in like a flyer form, as well as a social media, Instagram size post, so that way it can be shared easily. So, yep, just send the details my way. If you have any, and he makes it so that it is more consistent with the city's brand, so it looks like it's coming from us.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah,
And
feel free.
okay, cool. So yeah, I think that once Keith, Jamie, and I get a chance to connect, I've done a little pre-work on, we're each trying to pick a location in the ward that we represent. So I represent Ward 3, and like I'm gonna try to do it at Margin, that's on Santam. And Keith, you had mentioned trying for,
I was appointed by a Ward 2 counselor, so
Mhm.
I was going to do mine on Starbucks on Pacific, and they
Yeah.
already committed to donating coffee.
Nice. I don't know that Margin's going to be able to do that, but and then Jamie had talked about the community center, or no, so we will have solid plans next time we chat.
And Greg, do you have any updates on your community walk?
Greg, you're on mute. Still on mute.
There you go.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
No? Can you hear me now? Okay. First of all, Keith, first time I've been to the Pride booths, and I had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
And I'm gonna go next year because it was really cool. And I got to talk with a lot of great people. I talked with CASA, ABC House, Jackson Street, and also the NAACP. And I told them all about my walk. And the NAACP is very interested. I think they have a health and wellness
You do.
something with that, and they definitely want to be involved with my walk. So it was a great venue for me to market the walk.
Yeah.
And so they definitely want to be involved. I hung out with the city folks, and I volunteered to kind of help put tents away and try to button things up with that. So anyways, overall, awesome experience. And I'm going to go next year for sure. So it was very, very cool. And Keith, you did a great job. And there was an amazing amount of booths there. So it was really cool. So that's basically, I was just trying to market the walk. But I did want to put in what a cool experience that was. And I will definitely go again. And I got a free donut too. So that was a nice perk.
There was a woman who brought rainbow tamales and was giving them away for free too. And she came up and told me about it, and I like almost started crying because she was so sweet and just was like, "I made these rainbow tamales," like in the entire like food truck. just have hundreds of these tomorrow to go. It was amazing.
Yeah. I got to meet with the folks from the Grace Lutheran Church, and they were awesome folks too. So, and they were interested in possibly walking as well. So I tried to do as much marketing as I could. So hopefully we'll get a few more folks there this year.
Yes, thank you, Greg. I have all of the contact information for every single one of those booths.
Okay, that'd be great.
So
Okay.
I can forward them to you and you can reach out.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
And Greg, I apologize as I need to circle back with you on the exact location. I know you said it was by
Talking Waters.
Talking Waters parking lot. Okay. So
Yes.
it'll start and end. It'll go in Talking Waters.
That's correct.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we're looking at again September 9th at 10 a.m. And there's a kind of a loop that the cross country kids did, and that's what I'm kind of following. And it's basically the wheelchair access loop, and it'll start and stop at the very beginning. So, kind of by the parking lot. So
Cool. And I'll double.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Perfect. I'll double check with Chris tomorrow with Public Works on what that process looks like to
That would be great. 'Cause
alert or
that's
officially
definitely-
reserve. And then at that point, I'll be able to send all the details to Matt, and he'll start working on on your graphic. So, thank you.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Greg, I just wanted to suggest that if the idea is for it to be a community walk that's accessible, to maybe do walk and roll or something like that, but something
yeah.
that decenters only people who can.
Oh yeah.
Community movement.
I talked with the Sick Town roller derby girls, and they're down too. So
Great.
we could come up with something really fun. They are hilarious, and I love hanging out with them. So yeah, we can come up with a more creative name is fine. I'm up for any input.
Walk and roll sounds like rock and roll, if you ask me.
Walk and roll.
That could be some very fun imagery
like
right
it.
there.
Fun. I can definitely see Matt running with that.
Yeah, whatever you guys come up with. Sick Town probably can't use their roller blades, but they can hang out, or they can dress up, which would be hilarious too, in their regular uniforms. That would be amazing.
Thank you, Greg. I skipped an item on our agenda, item B, HRC meeting time and attendance policy. So on So in the agenda packet, I don't know if everyone has had an opportunity to go through it in its entirety, but it does include the resolution regarding non-performance of duties, including non-attendance at meetings by board, commission, and committee members, and repealing resolution number 2310. So specifically in there, it does cover board members providing advance notice to the board chair and staff liaisons if they're unable to attend a board meeting. Absences not arranged in advance will be recorded in the meeting minutes as unexcused. There is also language in here about removal and what that looks like and what that process looks like for non-performance. So I just
So as I understand it, it's up to the counselor who actually appointed the person to, okay.
To decide that they have too many unexcused absences.
Yes.
Or whatever.
So definitely, I think we can, some counselors, I believe, do request what the attendance looks like for their appointed positions, and some might not. So I think we might need to check in on that. And if not, I can always, then I can forward the report that I received from Gina on everyone's excused and unexcused absences for the last calendar year.
And as far as meeting time goes, I think this is our third month of the 6:30 time. And I would suggest we potentially revisit that to see if this is a good fit, or if we need to move back to 7, move to 6. As I think the 6:30 is not as beneficial as we were hoping it would be, and maybe is muddying the waters, but that could just be my perception.
Yes.
I second that.
I agree. I think
Luckily,
the old
I-
7 was easier for me anyways.
Yeah, I just use the subscribe. Greg, if you don't mind, could you please mute yourself?
Yeah.
You didn't get it done again.
Center.
Single.
Thank you. What was I saying?
7 o'clock.
Yes. If you use the subscribe feature on the city website, just go to the city website, go to our page. It says when our meeting is, and there's like a subscribe button. You can add that to your own calendar. And if for any reason the time changes, but it will always be in your calendar, and it will always populate with the next meeting date and time. And you can schedule your own commitments around your commitments to the HRC.
Could we right now come up with like 3 options that the next meeting we're going to vote on?
Okay.
Just because I know this has been a concern, it's been brought up for several meetings, and so if we can come to a resolution for the next meeting, I think that would be good.
Thank you.
We-
It's a
We can
suggestion.
even follow up with sorry, Keith.
No.
We can follow up with a survey, so that way the data is collected going into the meeting as well, so it doesn't necessarily muddy it, if that works. So
Even better.
Let's get a doodle poll going.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes. Any more conversation around meeting and attendance? Awesome. I guess we can slide into back on track on our agenda to event debriefs and potential event involvement.
sorry, do you want to provide suggestions, or should Gina and I throw out a couple
Oh, times. Yes.
times?
I was suggesting we do a doodle poll, or is there an equivalent to that if you're familiar with that at the
Oh, sure. So still 4th Tuesday, 7 p.m., 6 p.m., or do we want to look at other dates or anything like that, or stay 4th Tuesday?
I like 4th Tuesday.
Okay.
It works for me, but I am typically here.
So we'll do 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
Sure.
We can do that. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Event debriefs, potential event involvement. Kim, did you have anything?
Not at this time. Oh, actually, that is incorrect. I apologize. So the Arts Commission is interested in potentially working and getting out in the community, just like the HRC. They were at Pride. They did some fundraising for public art. It was lovely. They sold $48 worth of raffle tickets. I'm so proud of this group. It's the first time they've done anything like this. And so no other commission has gone out and like tried to rustle up dollars by this type of activity. It's amazing. So it's the start of something good. I'm just proud of my groups. So they are interested in potentially, some of them went and volunteered, I believe, at Juneteenth. They're going to be at Art in the Streets. They want to potentially do the farmers market. I know this group is interested in doing the farmers market. And so if you all are doing it, maybe we can collaborate and both can be at the same booth. We have table runners now that say Human Relations Commission and Arts Commission, as I feel like both of these groups are really working in the same direction and are could use additional FaceTime opportunities. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if anybody at this group is specifically coordinating tabling at the farmers market. If there isn't someone, then I'll bounce it back to the Arts Commission and say, you guys pick some dates, and then I'll send them over to you, Keith, that we can share with this group to see if people are interested. But the Arts Commission is interested in getting out there and working with the community and being available at events, just like the HRC is interested in doing. So you can potentially share some effort and just really do some good and let people know that their citizen advisory groups are active out there and available for feedback.
Okay.
I'd be happy to. Sorry.
Oh, thank you, Robin. I would just suggest all of us kind of know when the farmers market is. Those dates are already set. So just to get this started, I would commit to boothing with them on the 8th or the 22nd of July for the start.
And have you already confirmed with the farmers market folks that we'll have a booth there?
We can actually have our booth just outside of there.
That's true. Okay, so 8th and the 22nd, you're down.
I'm down. And when is their next meeting? I can probably pop in there.
The next meeting, I think, is the 13th or the 14th, so it'll be after the 8th. So
Okay.
maybe that one won't, it will be the 11th. So I'll shoot with them to work maybe for the 22nd.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
If you need another member of this commission, I can potentially do the 22nd help. I'll confirm that.
Cool. That would be awesome. Let's just
Thank
get it.
you.
Great. Well, I would like to share some of the success of Albany Pride for sure for event updates and involvement. Let me pull up a document that I've been working on that kind of communicates and contextualizes what happened at Albany Pride. So let's see. I can skip. I'm just going to use what I've already written in a letter that will be thanking folks who helped make it happen. So Albany Pride Festival attracted over 2,000 attendees, according to estimates from the Albany Police Department. The festival provided an opportunity for our community to come together, celebrate diversity, and show their support for the LGBTQ population at a very critical time. I would like to highlight some key accomplishments of the festival that were made possible through the support and engagement of various stakeholders throughout the city of Albany. Over 40 local and regional nonprofit organizations actively participated in the festival, connecting with historically underserved populations. This engagement created opportunities for deeper connections and better access to vital services for the LGBTQIA+ community. Additionally, we were thrilled to compensate 10 local queer and trans drag performers equitably, recognizing their immense talent and contribution to the festival's vibrant atmosphere. It was a pleasure to witness their captivating performances and the joy they brought to all attendees. Another remarkable aspect of the festival was the participation of 15 queer, trans, and BIPOC-owned businesses that were provided free booth spaces. These entrepreneurs reported record sales and established valuable connections with new customers who were previously unaware of their offerings. Their success contributed to the economic growth and visibility of these businesses within our community. Furthermore, I'm delighted to share that the Albany Pride Festival exceeded $20,000 in revenue. As a part of our commitment to investing in the future of queer and trans youth, 25% of that revenue will fund our second year of queer and trans youth scholarships administered by the Albany Public Schools Foundation, ensuring that deserving students have opportunities to pursue higher education. It's important to note that Albany Pride is fiscally sponsored by Jackson Street Youth Services, a local nonprofit that serves youth experiencing housing insecurity or homelessness. We have observed that queer and trans youth are disproportionately represented among those benefiting from their critical services provided. Finally, I want to emphasize that our primary goal of providing a safe and inspiring space for all attendees was more than exceeded. As we know, members of our community, especially youth, need these experiences at this time. The lineup of all queer speakers, including Tina Kotek, Manju Bangalore, Miss Oregon USA, Jamie McLeod Skinner, and Jason J. Dorsett, president of the NAACP, and Lisa Avery, president of LBCC, contributed to an atmosphere of empowerment, unity, celebration, and presented the dignity and uniqueness of the queer and trans experience. Incredibly grateful for the support of all of the local organizations that helped make Albany Pride Festival happen. All of their presence and inspiring words made a significant impact on our community, furthering our collective mission of fostering inclusivity and acceptance for all. The city and multiple departments throughout the community show the commitment to the LGBTQIA population, and it's truly commendable. Awesome.
Excellent.
Yes. Good news. A lot of
It's really
people
good.
like, yay, it's a fun festival. And I'm like, there's a lot of other stuff going on.
Hey, Keith, can you forward that? Is that typed out? Can I have that for the minutes?
Yes. What I will be doing is I already sent one to both AFD and APD, thanking them for all of their participation in letters of recognition for those department chiefs and all of their staff. I will also be sending one to Kim Ledane at Parks and Rec, and Public Works will be getting one, and I'll make sure some other folks in the community, I'll get them recognizing them for their contribution as well. Awesome. Any other updates?
The only thing I could add, I don't know if this would be, oh no, I can wait for business from the members.
Okay. All right, let me get this agenda pulled back up. All right, and now we have business from members. Robin?
Just like that. I am on the the Community Development Commission, which I'm honored to chair this time around. And I also represent this group on there by appointment by Mayor Johnson. I want to encourage everyone to take a look. What we did last City Council was to give a resolution to the City Council to support the housing implementation plan of the city as it was presented and as is written out there. And so if you haven't had an opportunity to read through it, it's kind of lengthy, but it's a good plan, and it really addresses, I think, many things that are intersectional with what we want to do in this group, which is to, of course, change the city's some of the housing patterns and opportunities for underserved communities to have affordable housing and different types of housing, because, we come from a background where we're thinking of housing as, detached single homes, apartments, maybe townhouses, duplexes, that sort of thing. But there's actually so many different sorts of housing that can occur, from tiny home villages to cottage, communal land trust, and things that can really benefit the populations that we help to serve as well. So I just encourage everyone from this group to, if you haven't had a chance, to take a look, and I'd be happy to pass along any feedback or comments on that process to the commission.
Great, thank you, Robin.
Sure.
I just had a suggestion that maybe we could get at one of our meetings this summer, the new executive director of equity, diversity, and inclusion for GAPS. If we could ask her to join us for a meeting. Her name is Kelsey Nava Costales. And I think it would be helpful. I had messaged Gina about before Kelsey was announced, the HAC was interested in, I think they are still going to write a letter of support for the continuation of EDI efforts. And so I think it'd be helpful for us to meet with Kelsey and to kind of understand some of her priorities and how we can better kind of collaborate with her role on GAPS.
Great. So usually, I think what historically we had like the chair was the one who invited speakers. So I'm more than happy to do that.
Great.
Anything else? Great. Let's get into the staff updates. Kim.
And there are no staff updates at this time.
Oh, whoa.
I know. Sorry, guys.
Okay, well, I have a question. We got to get, I was asked if there were any plans for there to be a mural at any of the spaces at the new Monteith River Park.
Good question. At this time, no. Our department is looking at potentially doing some additional art throughout the park. We've got permission to work on the big electrical footing. I can't think of what the word is right now. I apologize. We have some
the big metal,
big blue thing. Yes, the Pacific Power. So it is faded and it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. And so we're working on within the parameters of Pacific Power to figure out how we can judge that up. We're going to be looking at some recognition options for like community donors that will have an artistic piece to it. At this time, we do not have plans for a mural, but I wouldn't say that that is out of question. It's just a matter of figuring out what it actually looks like and how the space works when we're in it and figuring out what we feel like would be appropriate. There are additional talks of murals within the Arts Commission, though, about some other places around town, as we've had quite a few business owners express interest in potentially being connected with artists, which is lovely. And then the mayor has one in particular that he's interested in having done that we're working on writing a grant for, as there is no funds available. So it is in the works, hopefully more murals, but not specifically one done by the community inside Monteith. It's going to be driven a little bit more on the recognition side from our department.
Yeah. Well, I think it would be wonderful if we got a mural down there at that new park that was highlighting the equity and the diversity and dignity of people in our community.
I'm all for it. Well, I'm all for additional murals. I can't make the decision on my own for mural placement, but no, I think that's another great opportunity for us to work with the Arts Commission to figure out how we can collaborate and work together to move forward. It would be, I know that the grant that they're writing right now specifically is going to be in a location that has underserved populations. You know, they're looking at ways of celebrating our diversity in specific neighborhoods that could use a little additional public art and love.
That's awesome. Love to hear it. All right. Well, with that,
Can I just add to that? Kim, I kind of live near the Dave Clark Trail, and when I walked by recently, I can't remember which day, there was a swastika that was spray painted on like one of the those green metal boxes that I think like house power as well.
So
go ahead.
Sorry, we unfortunately do see those pop up. And so what I ask is if they're reported to, if you report it to APD, they go ahead and document it, and specifically it gets a tally in the column of hate speech, and it gets tallied a different way than regular graffiti. And then typically it works to get documented so that way we have a photo of it, and then either APD, our staff, or a volunteer group goes out as quickly as they possibly can to make sure that is not visible for more eyes for longer than it already has been. So yes, if you see any, we typically will see swastikas from time to time, as well as other derogatory terms. So if you see them, shoot me an email, report it to APD, let somebody know, and then we work within each other to make sure that it is being taken care of.
Thanks for that on the process. That's not something that I knew. And what it makes me think is like, we need some community education about that. And, you know, like, I know just ways to kind of build, you know, build community watch in some way. And I know that kind of sounds surveillance state, but to build kind of community protection information, right? So what's the process for people? What's the process that people follow when they see something like that, you know? That I think that would be really helpful. And it might be a good place for HRC to collaborate with the APD on something like that, you know, to do that, like education on how you report this, but then also education on just bystander intervention, right? So if you're walking, I didn't see the person who did this, but if you're going along the Dave Clark Trail and you see somebody who's drawing a swastika or writing something that's really derogatory, you know, providing some training for people on how to intervene in that situation.
Yeah, I agree. I know that process, but I just referred two people within this week on how to use that process with APD, and then they report that, and they encourage that person to refer that information to the Oregon Department of Justice.
And yes, we can definitely do a better job on that within our department as explaining what to do. Typically, a lot of folks take pictures of it and send it to us as well, which we then report it back to APD and try to go out there and take care of it. We are seeing a lot of really negative behavior right now. We're slammed left and right. So I guess thankfully is a wrong word to use, but it's thankful that not all of it is derogatory. Some of it is just tagging and other types of lewd things. But yes, that is a very good point, and we can, I'll work on it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Robin.
I was going to ask you, is the process as described, is that listed on the website, either at the top line of the city, or is it on the police site, or where would we find that?
For reporting, like
For
bias?
reporting hate, bias, hate, imagery, speech, I guess. If somebody's sitting out on a street corner, you know, spouting that stuff off, I guess that's...
So the Oregon Department of Justice goes around like regularly, and now it's a part of a lot of the process at most police departments in the state of Oregon, that they have a reporting procedure for not only if they have like graffiti that is offensive to people and bias, they have a process to report that to the Department of Justice. The Civil Rights Division that investigates that and provides support for people who may have been harmed seeing it. And that includes like actual crimes against people of speech and violent acts as well.
To Robin's point, though, like that was a question that I was wondering is, like, on, as far as I can see on the city websites, we don't have anything. Like the GAPS has something about their bias incidents response, but the city doesn't. And I think unless I'm missing something, that's really important that it's on the city's website.
Agreed, or the police, or both.
I can follow up with that as well. And then we can also house it there can be a second link on the HRC's on our webpage, so that way if folks come to us because they can't find it, it can get linked back. So I will bring that up tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you. All right. Any other updates? Fabulous. Our next meeting, Tuesday, July 25th, 6:30 p.m. And with that, I call this meeting adjourned at 7:12 p.m.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Night.
Bye, y'all. Thanks.
Bye.